Hello, and welcome to the podcast that discusses all things gaming. Coming to you from the home of Indie PopCon, Gen Con, and the gaming capital of the world, we are the Established Facts.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Indie PopCon wrap-up.
Yay! Podcasting!
We've done so much of it this weekend. Not really. Not that really.
As you can tell by
Not
all the
that
other
really.
episodes that we put out.
Yeah. All 7.
What? Well, one.
The hidden files. That's right. So, as
We're
we
going
do...
on Patreon to get those.
Yes, as we do after every convention that we all hang out and goof around at, we're going to kind of do our wrap-up of what we enjoyed the most, what we enjoyed the least, and then what we're looking forward to for next year. So, let's go ahead and go around our table.
Around the rectangle.
And, around the rectangle, and introduce everybody who is here. Brian.
This is Princess Katie.
This is Josh.
I'm Avital.
And of course, this is your host, Big Dom. So, without further gilding the lily, and with no more ado, as Chaucer would say if he was ever in a movie called A Knight's Tale, how did everybody feel about PopCon 2018?
Good.
I probably the most relaxed I've been so far in all the cons we've done.
Less running around.
Lonely, really.
I'm sorry.
There weren't as many people here as you expected to have had in past years.
Yeah, it felt less populated.
There were a lot of things going on in EV and like relatively close to it.
Confusing, euphoria, those things.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Delirium occasionally.
Everything costs something.
That's right.
Yes.
Get a hold of your podcast, Don.
Why? So, I really felt like, though I agree, it felt like there may have been, I don't know if there were any less people this year than there were last year, because we're in a very different location than we were last year as far as in the exhibit hall. We're in the exhibit hall A through D this year instead of being in the newer side, so it's a little bit different configuration. I will say the aisles feel like they're a little larger, so that could be, that there was just a larger spacing in between everyone, so it may seem like there were less people. I don't know. I feel like regardless what the population for PopCon was, the energy for PopCon was really good all weekend. We talked to a lot of really great people who did a lot of really cool cosplay and things like that. I will say I did make the comment yesterday to one of the volunteers that I feel like every year the cosplay at PopCon gets better and better. I feel like there's just a lot more consistency with people showing up with really good costumes. How did you guys feel about some of the experiences you had with a lot of the cosplayers? Because I know that's kind of a big thing at a lot of conventions, and especially at PopCon.
I think the creativity for hybrid costumes was through the roof this time around. My favorite one that still sticks out was Ash from Pokemon crossed with Ash from Evil Dead.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, that was great.
That's great.
Like, had the jacket and everything, but also the chainsaw on the arm. Like, it was just a really great combination.
Gotta saw them all.
And then the gentleman that was here yesterday that was a combination of Harley and Thor? Is that what that was? Or he was the Joker in today, the Beach Bus Joker.
It was... I don't know what it was.
And then there was the First Wise.
Yeah, Harley Wise.
Harley Wise.
And she was the one who was the Lich King from World of Warcraft mixed with Elsa from Frozen.
And there was a Spider-Man Captain America matchup.
Yeah, Spider Cap.
Yeah, I saw
Panther Pool.
Panther Pool.
Yeah, there was a Panther Pool.
yesterday. I saw.
There's a Rita Repulsa.
Yeah, Rita Repulsa. She was a blend of Rita Repulsa from Power Rangers and Deadpool.
Oh, okay.
And then today I saw 4 people doing post-apocalyptic Alice in Wonderland. They had a really cool Queen of Hearts that was walking around with this big scythe and like a yard flamingo attached to her belt. And then she was walking around with a couple of other people that I didn't get a chance to really see their
They
costume.
were like the card soldiers.
Yeah, I think they were like the card soldiers. And then I do not know her name, but the lady from Thousand Faces cosplay was doing a post-apocalyptic Cheshire Cat cosplay. She didn't have like ears or anything like that, but she had this really wicked like purple and pink wig on and a baseball bat, and on her back, or she was wearing like a denim jacket, and on the back of the jacket had like this really cool like Cheshire Cat, what are they called, cameos, like the Victorian style cameo kind of thing. It was really, really cool. Really neat cosplays this year. I really look forward to next year's cosplays. I know that Princess Katie came in her Princess Katie cosplay yesterday.
I got to cosplay myself, which was an interesting concept.
We've been talking over the last couple of years about doing some cosplays involving our podcast personalities, which I think would be a lot of fun. Maybe for next year we can do that on a Saturday or something like that. We'll see. Maybe plan that out.
Cosplay personality. I have my own personality, and I'm usually
amalgamation of these different cosplays.
I'm usually the only one that gets cosplay.
That's true.
At Indie Pop.
By the way, Lauren from Thousand Faces Cosplay was doing Wasteland Alice. It was actually
Oh, is that what
Alice
it was? Okay.
from the Wastelands of that game, Borderlands. I believe.
Borderlands.
That is really cool.
And the post-apocalyptic Queen of Hearts is Lady Dragon. She was when
okay.
she was a Harley, she signed our Harley.
Okay.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Right.
So
Sorry.
cosplaying, we've all been sidetracked now.
We got storm coverage apparently coming through on the phone. Right in the middle of the podcast, they're getting information. Severe thunderstorm warnings through all over the county.
Wow, it's almost like
hours.
Indiana.
I was going to say, it wouldn't be Indiana without a thunderstorm.
It's true. So let's see, what else are we talking about? That was initial thoughts. Favorite part?
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, my favorite part was getting to meet and talk to Peter Spellos because he was so much fun, and I loved just being like snarky. It was great. It was really good because Josh and Don have talked about him a lot because they do his improv stuff and they're in the improv troupe that he does, Breakfast Anytime. And I had a lot of fun actually meeting Peter and getting to converse with him.
Trading jabs with him.
Yes!
He's a lot of fun to do that with. He'll counter back and forth. As we mentioned, he's a man who loves his craft and loves the people he works with. He's really great. I mean, we of course did our Breakfast Anytime show 8 o'clock on Saturday, and I don't think it could have gone any better.
Oh, it was a great show. Like from an audience member's perspective, you guys were awesome.
Hey, look who just walked up! Derek from the Never-Ending Dungeon.
Hey, Derek from the Never-Ending Dungeon.
How can we get an update on how the dungeon went this weekend?
Certainly.
Yeah.
We've raised over $650.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I saw you had a good turnout for nearly every slot, right?
Only one slot did not make it, so we had every class of 4 slots made it, 1 slot did not.
There you go, $650 to the Bodana Group. That's fantastic.
And on top of
one that we're running will be on for the con in 2 weeks.
on top of the already I think $450 that they made at HoosierCon, so that's over $1,000 thus far for the Bodana group. Which, I want to make a big shout out to Jack and everybody at the Bodana group. They have been amazing to communicate with. They are extremely excited that the Established Facts had reached out to them to do a charity drive for them. They're in Pennsylvania, and we've never actually personally met each other, but I think a lot of us on this podcast in general, and then a lot of our friends and the people that we're associated with also, we just feel like there is a huge community of gamers, and we're all kind of part of the same family. We just haven't been to the same reunions yet, and Jack and the people at the Bodana group are definitely a part of that family, and I really want to I want to give a heartfelt shout out to those guys, because they hooked us up with tons of dice bags, tons of t-shirts, and a lot of really cool stuff to give away to people. So I look forward to that. I will probably be getting a hold of Jack here very soon in case we want to take swag with us to Fear the Con. Because otherwise, we don't have any more. So
that's right. We gave it all away.
That's right. We do have buttons. I do have several buttons, but yep.
Ivy, what was your favorite part?
Favorite parts? I like the whole experience of the different con experience being by the table and then just walking around.
Oh, absolutely. Right. That's why I try to discuss about it. I'm like,
I did really like I was really like on the contest. It was very entertaining, and
Lance, I know yours was short, but
I was only here for about 5 hours today, and a good 15-20 minutes of that was taken up at the Bloodmobile, so I'm going to have to go with that. And seeing Sarah Reed have no one at her booth, that was kind of entertaining.
She looked so bored every time I went by.
But no, the Bloodmobile, they really need some help. The group that's taking, but we only had 5 people all day yesterday. As soon as I heard that, I said, I'm going to go do it. Jake jumped up and had his first blood-giving experience as well. So that was very nice. It was good to help out the Hoosiers that are in need, because all this blood goes to people.
I would have to say for myself, my favorite part of this weekend, it has to be the improv show. It has to be, for me, it has to be performing on Saturday night for the improv show. We had so much fun during the weekend meeting people, and I thought it was really cool that we actually had a bunch of people come and participate in our raffle and stuff that we have every year, that were here last year, recognized us, came and said hi. I thought that was really neat, because it's always cool to find those people that you've made that connection with, and sometimes, especially for a smaller con, you as silly as it sounds, I feel like I see more people that I know at Gen Con when there's 60,000 people than if I go to PopCon sometimes, and maybe it's just because those people are looking for other things to do and things like that. So I would have to say, in general, kind of pumping everybody up and getting into our improv show on Saturday night, though, was really the culmination of what we've been working really hard on for several months, and really 3 years for Joshy and I doing improv together. So,
Brian?
I can't really sum up my favorite parts of PopCon in one particular instance, but I think just overall meeting the various vendors and being able to network with them and talk to them about basically their history and the cons that they've been to and the experiences that they've had, and being able to share that kind of moment to kind of bond with them a little bit, was definitely a highlight of PopCon for me. That's an instance that I don't experience in other cons. and other larger cons.
Tony Shaw, come here.
Okay.
Mike's alive.
All right.
Who won the spelling bee?
So our spelling bee grand champion, I have her name here. Our spelling bee grand champion was Ashley Frege, who won on the word Yojimbo, as in Usagi Yojimbo. And our second place gentleman, a very valiant effort, Jeffrey Creek, lost on Jabberjaw, the old cartoon from the 70s, Jabberjaw. So a lot of fun in the spelling bee. Good times were had by all. Gave away a lot of prizes. Going to do it again next year.
Good turnout.
Yeah, good turnout. Yeah,
Good.
yeah. We had 20 contestants and a good group to watch, and it was all fun. So
Fantastic. Well,
stuff.
I'm glad we were able to be a part of it.
Me too.
Tony, very
Yes.
quickly.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us what your favorite part of this year's PopCon was?
Oh, geez, my favorite part of this year's PopCon. I think my favorite part is just like PopCon is like a mixing of a little bit of everything. You get a little bit of celebrities, you get a little bit of local fun. That's for me when it all comes together and seeing everybody kind of do everything. That's the best because I had some moments where I got to spend some time with the celebrities and that was really great. Then I had some moments where I got to spend some time with you guys during your podcast and that was amazing. And then doing things like the spelling bee and moderating panels and things like that. It's just really cool to see everything come together. And of course, I spent a ton of money at the vendors too, so that's always a good thing too.
Very cool, very cool. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you. Well, now everybody's favorite part. What was your least favorite part?
Yeah, least favorite part. You want to start, Brian?
Yeah, why not? Right?
Go for it.
Go for it. My least favorite part was probably because I'm used to the bigger cons. The fact that it was just so like small of an area. Because usually like at other cons that I go to, you've got like various parts of the convention center that will have like gaming areas and things like that. And it's usually everything was pretty much so centered around this section of the exhibit hall. That was pretty much the only thing. You know what I mean? The vendors hall was pretty much most of the
Princess?
Pass. I'll think of something, come back to me.
I'm going to have to go with the autograph prices. I've really never focused too much on it in the last few years, and I paid it twice. Got to meet Kevin Nash, who I don't think is completely on the celebrities, but is definitely partially on them.
The Magic Mike poster?
No, he signed the title belt that I have.
Yeah, the Magic Mike poster's still above his bed.
Yeah, that's gross. Anyways. Meeting Kevin Nash was great. He's just as tall as I would have suspected. It's always strange for a 6-foot-toe guy to have to look up. But it's $40 for his autograph. He's not even currently an active wrestler. He is a legend. It's $40, and it was $50 for LeVar Burton. And I did that for my wife, and it wasn't so much that I didn't have the money, but it seems like the pricing of the autographs is probably steering people away from the celebrities. When they're that high, it's kind of hard to justify paying that. It just is. And it's the first time I purposefully reached out and did a photo op and an autograph and a second autograph. And $140 later, I got 2 signatures on a belt and 2 photos. You know, it was fun, but it's probably my least favorite part.
I
always have trouble picking favorite and least favorite parts of anything, but I don't think there was anything like particularly about the con that I super didn't like. I guess you could say my least favorite part was getting winded and having to change out of part of my costume every now and then. Because there's not really anything about the con that I especially dislike.
That's okay.
Okay. Princess Katie?
I wish the chairs we had were comfier. Like sitting at the booth all day, like yeah, comfy chairs. Like if I'd had a comfy chair, I would have been set.
That's an okay thing.
Next year, hang on. I'm bringing a throne. I'm setting up a throne. It's going to be comfy. It's going to be good. It's going to be pure mahogany, and I'm making Jake carry it.
Oh.
Mahogany. I know how much my table was. Good luck.
That's hard on the knees.
For me, the hardest part and the worst part about this convention hasn't happened yet. It's to tear down and saying goodbye to the people that I love spending time with. Because I don't see you guys as much as I used to, or as much as I'd like to. So there's that. The other part that I don't like is that I don't get to be here for more than just today. Family duties required me to be elsewhere for the past couple of days. So in all honesty, just not getting to spend as much time with my friends as possible is the worst thing for this community.
Fair.
I would have to say, for me, my least favorite thing about this year's convention was I feel like there were a few different events that happened this weekend that I would have liked to have seen pushed a little bit more. For example, they had a 24-hour game room over in the West End.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Right, exactly. And so there were a lot of things that I feel like if there were a little bit more signage, and I know obviously they have the program guide and there's a lot of really cool things in the program guide, and I don't have a complaint about lack of information. I have a complaint about limited exposure for information.
Lack of advertising that information.
Right. And another thing that I was really surprised about is other conventions, and even PopCon to an extent, has had in the past, like in Indianapolis, around the convention center and kind of down Maryland Street and Washington Street, there are areas where they will put up banners and signs for different events that are going on, like the Indy 500 or Gen Con, or if there is some sort of like FDIC, the fire department convention, things like that. Even Comic-Con. But there wasn't any PopCon signage out, which I was really surprised. And that may be a budget thing. I don't know. I'm not saying that they need to go out and spend a bunch of money frivolously just because there's an expectation there. But I think that one of the observations we were making earlier was feeling like maybe there weren't as many people at PopCon this year as there have been in the past. And that could attribute to the fact that, if people were downtown for, say, the Pride events and didn't know PopCon was going on, if they would have seen some signage, maybe they would have been attracted to come in on Saturday or Sunday. I don't know. I just feel like there were a few things that I feel like I would have liked to have seen more advertisement for, more push for. Otherwise, I think we're all kind of stretching a little bit to have to find things that we didn't like about this year's PopCon, because I think overall we had a really great experience at PopCon this year.
Speaking of having really good experiences at PopCon, guess who just stopped by our table?
Who stopped by our table?
Oh. Well, hello, everybody. I'm the contest winner from the wonderful raffle that just happened.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Jason Newland, yes, thank you.
Yay, Jason!
Yeah. Jason won our grand prize of our raffle, so he got a box load of games and all kinds of really cool swag and 2 PopCon badges for next year. And so he's looking forward to next year as well, to come and hanging out with us.
Oh, 100%. This is one of the places I always stop when I go to PopCon. And I'm always excited to stop by, and every time we do the raffle, it's like, why can't I win? Well, now I don't have that excuse.
There you go.
How many times did you enter?
This year or in general?
Just this year.
Just this year, I have 4.
4 tickets. That's awesome. All right. Well, thank you, Jason, so much. I feel like, in a nutshell, like I said, we all had a great time at PopCon this year. We all look forward to next year's PopCon. I don't know
What are we looking forward to?
Sure. Thanks,
That's the third
Josh.
part of this question.
Yeah, I know. I need help, man.
Okay.
That's why you're with me, brother.
Yes, brother. Yeah.
Okay. What are we looking forward to for next year? Josh, go ahead and start.
I have a feeling that next year's involvement of the Breakfast Anytime troupe and possibly the acting troupe is probably going to increase. And since it somehow managed to get underneath my Casting Robot Productions bubble, I'm sure I'll be involved with it as well.
I love you how you said some.
Okay, I offered it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you
Nobody else did.
You were there registering.
No one else can.
Fair enough. I know that's going to be a thing, but hopefully for us, we can continue this. Maybe next year we'll get a few more than one interview. Speaking of the one interview, I'll probably be attaching it to this episode. Bowlcut Studios and their video game Mage Quit. You're definitely going to want to check it out.
Did you get a chance to actually play it?
No, but I'm going to tonight.
Okay.
That's my plan.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes, it is on Steam.
They're over in aisle 700. The premise behind it is it's a overhead brawler where you play wizards, and as the wizards get more kills, their beards get longer, and at the end of the 9 rounds, the longest beard wins. Don't worry, you'll hear it in the interview. It's a very entertaining premise. So I hope we get to do a few more of those again. I know with us doing both Breakfast Anytime and the Established Facts, we were a little split this year, but I think next year we can do that. And Never Ending Dungeon.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I'm so happy for them. I didn't get to play, which that's the first of the Never Ending Dungeon, Endless Dungeon combos I've not played. But I played at HoosierCon, and I'm playing it twice at FearTheCon. So definitely looking forward to more interviews and more involvement for BA.
So I'm looking forward to just whatever the experience is for PopCon for our booth, and I always look forward to the different events and things like that we get a chance to participate in. Not just say, for example, the Breakfast Anytime show, but also, there are a lot of times during the PopCon show or convention that we get a chance to do panels and things like that, and we're always really seeking out opportunities to help with Indie PopCon because we love this con so much. So I'm kind of looking forward to a lot of the programming that we can participate in for next year. So, Prime, what about you, sir? What are you looking forward to for 2019? That's good. That's good. Right? Yeah.
Like, I'm looking forward to
With the twins that he
got it.
I always like PopCon because I don't go to HoosierCon, but it always seems like the beginning of con season. Because it always seems like the first larger con we end up going to. So I think just in general, the fact that kind of signifies the beginning of con season for me is something that I always look forward to every year that I come.
So, Avital, what about yourself?
All the same good stuff, just being here. But honestly, I want to get my apartment more together and actually have space to work on some cosplays. Because I haven't really done that for years. I have lots of cosplays, but there are others that I want to make that will require some work. And I would love to be able to have some new fun cosplays at PopCon next year.
Okay. Lance, what about you, sir?
I'm looking forward to not having to buy white hair dye for my Jor-El cosplay anymore. Again, spending time with my friends, family. Hopefully I can be at the booth more and to see what the new pop culture thing will be next year. We have about 360 days worth of what will be cool that hasn't happened yet.
I'd really like to find out. I know last year was kind of a new thing for PopCon. They had that yo-yo championship. I'd really like to find out how well it went this year as well, because that was kind of a surprising
hit last year.
Yeah. I was actually really entertained too, which was kind of,
Well, and add on to that, the one-player esports pavilion that was over there with a $5,000 Hearthstone tournament, a $25,000 League of Legends tournament, and a $5,000 Overwatch tournament. I actually had a conversation with them. They ordered from Pro-Am belts and actual championship belt for the League of Legends champion.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
It was legit. I saw him walking by, I'm like, what is that? So I'm super excited. They are local.
Leave it to you to be impressed by somebody's championship belt.
Somehow. Because I just seen one in an email from another company that makes similar belts. So they're hoping to be back next year. They're hoping to actually open up a physical building to hold these esports tournaments in Indianapolis.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow.
Right. They're
I guess I got to start playing Overwatch. Help me, Jake.
Hey, if you're really good at it, you can make good money too. So
there are also going to be a couple more superhero movies out by this time next year. I did see quite a few kids walking around in Black Panther costumes.
That was really cool.
That has been a pop culture thing that has happened.
That's true.
And one can only hope that the big one is at least half as better as the recent one.
Words. Wow.
Well, one's hoping that the Avengers movie, the new one coming out, is at least half as good as the last one.
Gotcha.
Okay.
That was it. Yeah, I see.
I didn't hear the word Avengers.
I didn't say Avengers. I said the big one. I was trying not to.
The big one better than half as good as last one.
The big one is better than the little one.
As you can tell, it's Sunday in Indie PopCon.
Yes, tired.
Yeah.
We're going to have another Avengers movie. We're going to have the
Captain Marvel movie.
So, more girl power
From
done
Marvel.
right.
The Wasp.
Ant-Man the Wasp. Those are all Marvel. Not to mention, I think
Black
there's...
Widow movie in the way.
it's being talked about. That again, that's just MCU. The other guys, goodness gracious, the New Mutants. New Mutants has got one, that horror movie that's coming out later this year. And
Star Wars.
Predator's getting a new one, a new Star Wars movie's coming out. Solo is getting mixed reviews, but, whatever. It's out.
But next year, it'll probably be better.
Somehow.
Turned into one of those cult classics.
Right.
People go back, you know what? This wasn't as bad as I first gave it credit.
Every new Star Wars movie, they say that about the previous. I guess this is better than that was.
That, just so you know, Don, those are usually our 3 questions for a post-con wrap-up.
I've never done one of these.
Yeah?
Ever.
Okay.
First time.
Only
Good
like
job.
15
Not like
others.
it's not like I've ever done one of these in 7 years. Or like 4 a year.
Sure.
Anyway. So, I want to personally thank Indie PopCon. I don't really care about anybody else on this podcast's opinion of what Indie PopCon was.
It's okay.
But I feel like, don't choke me to death. Anyway, so I want to thank everyone at Indie PopCon on behalf of the Established Facts for allowing us not only to come here as a podcast and to contribute to one of our favorite conventions of the year, but also on behalf of Breakfast Anytime, allowing us to do something that we hadn't really gotten the chance to do on the scale in which we did it, with being able to perform for a lot of the attendees of PopCon. So on behalf of the Established Facts and Breakfast Anytime, we love you guys. We will see you next year, and we will check you later.
Bye.
This is my kind of game. Oh, Jafar just fell off.
Yeah, you did.
You suck, Jafar.
We're going. I mean, you already said
fine.
Jafar sucked. That's a good way to start.
You suck, Jafar.
Well, this is Big Don and
This is Josh
from the Established Facts, and we are here hanging out at PopCon, Indie PopCon 2018 to be exact, and we are joined with our new friend Brett Pennings.
Hi, guys.
And now, Brett, tell us a little bit about your company, the name, what you guys are doing.
All right, so we're Bowlcut Studios. It's a two-man team. It's just me and my brother Chad.
Okay.
We're based out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. We try to make games that forge or destroy friendships, essentially. This is our first actually released title.
Okay.
And it's called Mage Quit.
All right. Now, I love it when they do that to us.
Every time.
Every time. Every recording.
Every time.
Okay, well, Brett, tell us a little bit about what Mage Quit is, what kind of platform it'll play on, things like that.
Wow. Mage Quit is a top-down wizard brawler. You learn a new spell before each round. Every kill you get makes your beard longer.
Makes your beard longer?
Yeah, it makes your beard longer. And
That's
the wizard
awesome.
at the end with the longest beard wins.
That's awesome.
And so it's a 9-round game.
Now it looks like the characters have a life meter.
Yep. So you have health, and then all of your spells have cooldowns. So all of that is kind of shown as indicators above your health bar.
Gotcha.
And most of the spells have knockback on them, so you can try to zone your opponents out into the lava.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, it looks like you got...
Oh, wow. That's a... Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, the D20s go up and then make your beard long.
That's so great.
So it looks like you guys are currently on Steam.
Yep. Yeah, sorry, I totally didn't answer that
That's
question.
okay.
No, it's all right.
And if I had to guess, is it a Unity engine game?
It is. It is a Unity engine game.
You can kind of tell they're similar looking. That's
What
not
is
a
that
bad
supposed
thing.
to mean?
It's not a bad thing. What that means is you have ultimate flexibility in the future for other platforms.
I'm just messing with you.
I'm an IT guy. I know how to turn that around.
Wow.
What made you guys decide to go Unity for?
So kind of a funny story. Do you know the Ouya? Do you remember the Ouya?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
it was an Android box that was meant for gaming.
Yeah.
So I was really excited about that when it came out on Kickstarter.
So was everyone else.
Yeah, so I kickstarted it along with a lot of other people. I was excited about it as a developer because I was like, oh, it's just Android. I can already build for Android. And they were recommending you use Unity to build games. So the first time I tried to build this game was when the Ouya came out. And that was probably 5 years ago. But I didn't know much about Unity, and I was pretty bad at it. And the game turned out pretty awful. There was a lot of things that the second time around I did a lot better on this. So that's why I picked Unity in the first place, was because Ouya recommended it. So some good came out of that console after all. I mean, aside from Towerfall.
Sure. Well, so with that, I see your guys' very competitive pricing.
Yes.
It's for multiplayer.
Yeah.
Is it geared more towards that local and online multiplayer, or are there AI in it as well?
There is not currently AI in it, and we are encouraging bulk purchasing because we want to grow the online community.
Sure.
I mean, if I'm being 100% honest, I definitely prefer to play the game like this.
Oh, yeah.
With a big group of people.
Everybody in the same
Everyone's
room.
just yelling at each other.
That's cool.
That's the best way to do it, but not everybody can get that many friends together at any time and do that.
Sure.
So online multiplayer is definitely going to be where the bulk of our efforts are focused.
Right now, it looks like you guys are playing, 6, 7 people at once?
I think 7. 8.
8 players.
8 players right now, but
Single
it
PC?
goes up to 10. Yes, so it's all running on his gaming desktop. It's under the table there, and it's actually running in 4K on this TV.
That's awesome.
That's impressive.
That's spectacular.
I don't think I've seen that many players on a single PC for a game. So
It tends to draw a crowd at conventions.
Yeah.
It works out nice.
Well, it drew us over. I'm gonna definitely try to play it a little bit.
Well, and so you happen to mention conventions, other conventions that you've been to.
Yes.
What other places can people find Mage Quit? Do you have anything coming up? Obviously, we're at PopCon now.
Yep.
Do you have other things that you're looking forward to showing the game?
Yeah. So we'll be at a few other local anime cons.
Okay.
So far we've been to probably 14 different conventions to promote the game, and that's been in the past year. So
that's great.
JFAX in Grand Rapids Comic Con, YomaCon in Detroit. We actually drove out to Nebraska for NebraskaCon. Long story. We went to Orlando for Holiday Matsuri. We went to PAX South in San Antonio, PAX East in Boston. So that's kind of some
How
of
was
the ones
PAX?
we've been to. PAX was awesome.
I bet it was.
Oh man, we had a constant cycling of 10 players
That's
the
great.
entire time.
That's great.
And PAX South is great because it focuses more on indies.
Yeah.
So everyone that's there. Everyone that's there is there
They're
to play
developing
indies.
stuff and they're checking stuff out.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so that was kind of a cool place to like make industry connections and stuff too. But yeah, coming up, we have JFAX at the end of this month. We'll definitely be doing the.
Now where's JFAX? Where
Oh,
are these
sorry,
conventions
JFAX
at?
is in Grand Rapids.
Grand Rapids,
Yep.
okay.
And then we're doing YomaCon again this year. That was in Detroit.
Okay.
And then definitely the PAX is again next year, so January and then April again.
Okay.
And we have a few other ones that are kind of up in the air that we might be doing, but
Sure.
we haven't nailed them down yet.
Okay.
necessarily.
No, that's very cool.
Are there plans to release this to consoles since it's built on Unity?
Yes. So actually, I have an Xbox One development kit at home, and I have the game ported, but the frame rate gets really. They have this right here where they show these videos playing in between. Those don't get cleaned up properly on the Xbox dev kit for some reason. So by the time you get to round 7, the lag is terrible. Like the frame rate is so bad that it's like unplayable. And so I don't know. I just basically haven't got back into it.
Okay.
And right now we're focusing on online multiplayer instead of consoles. But the whole point of this initially was to put it on consoles.
Okay.
So we want to get it on the Switch. We want to get it on Xbox One. We want to get it on PlayStation 4. And ideally, we find a publisher like Team 17 or Versus Evil, one of those two. We actually talked to both of them at PAX East, and they expressed interest in maybe bringing, maybe doing the console releases with us.
That's awesome.
Because publishers won't actually touch games that have been released to early access on Steam. They consider that released already because they don't control the full release cycle then. So if you're a developer and you want to get a publisher, don't put your game on early access.
So is this early access right now?
This is on early access, yes. Okay. So we won't be able to get a publisher for the PC version of the game for that reason.
Gotcha.
So we would still own the PC version of it, and then we would, if we got a publisher involved for the console
license
releases,
it out.
we wouldn't license it out. They would basically help us with the marketing, and hopefully maybe they could pay a studio to do the porting for us because I'm the only actual coder on the project.
Okay.
And so I don't have the time really to port to Switch, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4. But currently we're still pitching our game to Nintendo to try to get it on the Switch.
Okay.
And I met one of their contacts at PAX East.
Very cool.
And he told me what to do. So hopefully once I follow that.
So as far as Bowlcut Studios is concerned,
Yes.
you got Mage Quit right now. What other projects, if you can divulge those, what other things are you hoping to kind of get into? You don't even necessarily have to give us a lot of detail, but
so I always have a bunch of game ideas.
Good.
I kind of keep track of them, but the one that we're pretty excited about that I can give you a little detail about it is it would be like if Mario Kart was
with long beards.
With long beards, yeah, exactly. It would be like if Mario Kart was a 10-player local game.
Cool. Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
That's good.
I'm down.
So
and it would be slow, slow paced.
Oh.
So you're trying to diversify a lot of what you guys are putting together.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But I mean, diversify meaning like change the genre, but it still would be like a local 10-player game. That way we can reuse all the booth equipment.
I think couch multiplayer is starting to make its way back.
I think so too. I mean, we'd also want to have online multiplayer for it,
Sure.
but there aren't a ton of games out. There really aren't a ton of games out now that you can have this many people in one place and play it.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes it like sort of a niche party game,
Now, I do have a very important question. You said that you and your brother are developing games.
Yes.
At what capacity do you guys work with each other?
Sure. So at this point, it's I'm working in Unity. He'll produce 3D and 2D assets for me.
Okay.
And then send them to me, and then I'll drop them into the game. That's kind of how we interact. We'll talk through some of like the design decisions of the game, make sure we're both on board.
So is he doing like a lot of the graphic graphics
I don't think
and stuff?
I don't think
That's
I said
okay.
Okay, so I do like the game design and the coding for the game. He does the art and animation.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So he'll produce the assets and give them to me.
So it's his decision to make the long beards.
That was
his.
It was my idea, but he modeled the beard.
Gotcha. That's great. That's great.
I had to implement the beard mechanics. So adding a cloth component and then making it scale according to how many kills you have.
I can't get over that. That's
this game, it looks great. And it looks like, so it's on Steam right now, like you said.
Yeah.
Now, I'm assuming that the prices you have set are for the licenses for that game. Is that how that works? So you got
licenses.
like 1 for 10, 4 for 30, 10 for 60.
Yeah, so it's I have Steam keys in here.
Okay.
On cards. So if someone were to buy a 10-pack, they would give me $60. I would give them a stack of 10.
Stack of 10.
Yep.
Okay.
So in order to play the 7 players, is it 7 keys or just 1?
It's 1 key if you're doing it local.
Okay.
Because you would just launch it up on your computer.
That's great.
And you'd connect that many controllers, and it would just be 1 instance of the game running. If you wanted to play with 6 of your friends online,
it's 1
each person would need a key to be able to download, install the game, and launch it up. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, where can they find you? Steam primarily. Where else?
So we have a Discord, but we haven't really posted links to it publicly because we're trying to kind of keep the community. So, there's a link right there if you wanted to post it. But also, Twitter is a good place to find us. That's where I'm most active. And that's actually, I think Twitter's probably the best way. But then also, we have a website, bowlcutstudios.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bowlcutstudios.com.
Bowlcutstudios.com.
And where can they find you on Twitter?
So my handle is @BrettPennings.
@BrettPennings.
Yep, and then
PENNINGS.
Yeah, you got it.
Got it.
And then the game Twitter is MageQuitGame, and then the studio Twitter is Bowlcut Studios.
Awesome. So that's awesome. Okay, great.
Well, I'm excited. I'll be
yeah, this looks
again.
great.
Awesome.
I keep getting distracted by just watching people play it. It looks fun.
Yeah.
I really like this. So I was trying to figure out, you were talking about the spells that you can buy, and then I realized when the in-between screens pop up, there are a limited number of those spells that you can. That's really
so
cool.
It arranges the players based on who's winning.
Yeah.
And so last place gets to pick their spell
first,
and then first place gets at most 2 choices.
That's cool.
But yeah, right now we have 4 different elements. After the full release of the game, to try to keep the online community alive, we're planning on patching in a new element at a time.
Okay.
So eventually there'll be 10 different elements, and it will be pretty, right now I would say no 2 games are the same because you never really get the same loadout. But with 10 different elements, it'll be that much more.
That's awesome.
Well, I'm excited.
Yeah.
We'll be telling, Bowlcut Studios, check them out. Mage Quit. Well, it's dead air because we're all like,
it's just
staring.
Just looking at this game, it's really cool.
Well, I'll give that a roaring success.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for joining us, Brett and
Chad.
Chad.
Yeah,
Chad. Who you might have heard. No, good idea.
Yeah. He wanted the beards. I just drew them.
Good contribution, Chad.
Well, thank you all very much.
Right on.
And we will
check you later.
Please visit us at www.theestablishedfacts.com and our Facebook page, facebook.com/theestablishedfacts. If you would like to support us by buying some merchandise, visit cafepress.com/castingrobot.
Bonus.